We got another movie review request here. This one's from Dan Portillo of the Fastest 40 podcast. Check him out. He's one of the co-hosts on there. He talks about all things NFL. And he saw a movie and he's like, hey, Ali, I want you to review this one. Can you do it? And I do take requests. Like I say, put in the conversation below and I get to as best I can. And on this episode, we'll review the movie Air from 2023. Now, this movie just came out in theaters, so I will keep the spoilers minimum, but I'm gonna talk about it on this episode of Movie Breakdown. But before I get started, if there is you want me to do, let me know. Please put in the comment section below, and I get to as best I can. And I have a Patreon/AliZaka for $2 a month. You cut in front of everybody, get your review out, wait for it to come out Facebook and YouTube. Now, let's get into today's episode of 2023's Air, starring Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. Also stars on this movie, you have Jason Bateman, you got Chris Tucker, Viola Davis, Marlon Wayans. It's a stacked cast. It's a stacked cast here. And what is this movie about? Well, this movie is about the deal to make Michael Jordan the face of Nike, in a sense. Pretty much Nike's it's pretty much on the downhill right now. They're on the downhill trying to find a way to branch out and get in front of everybody, how to get their company booming more. And they're looking for athletes to be the face of the brand. They're looking for a basketball athlete to be the face of the brand, and they aim for Michael Jordan. This becomes one of the biggest, superstar deals before superstar deals that happen. This is what happened with sports marketing. This is the kickoff to this. This movie shows you what behind the scenes pretty much of the two members for Nike trying to get Michael Jordan to sign with them and become the face of Nike's basketball line, which they end up making it called Air Jordan. This is pretty much no spoiler because everybody knows about Air Jordan now. Or spoiler alert, yeah, they get Jordan to sign and becomes Air Jordan, the football, or not football brand, but the shoe brand. I'm not sure I went football. I'm a football fan. That's probably why I went there. But the shoe brand for Nike, the basketball brand for Nike, which then Nike then takes over football, basketball. They're everywhere nowadays. Everybody knows what Nike is, the swoosh, all that stuff. But the Just Do It. But that didn't come. And that would ever been if it weren't for them pretty much snagging Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan even stepped on the court and become one of the greatest of all times, arguably. Because you got your LeBron fans, you got your Kobe fans, Michael Jordan fans, like heck, Kareem Abdul fans. I forgot Jabbar, what I'm gonna say his name is. Before my time, I'm sorry. You got, Wilt Chamberlain and anyway. Pretty much this movie is about the signing of get Michael Jordan to sign and become the face of Nike. And for a story that everybody knows the ending to, I feel like this movie, they had to find a way to make this more of a drama, make it more like, okay, we know the ending, but how do you get this pressure so that way when this ending happens, we can be like, okay, we didn't really see it coming, or maybe people don't really know the story behind it. I remember I studied the story and branding and star branding and how to find somebody to help launch your company to the moon when I had my own clothing line. So I researched the story and researched how to get your brand out there. And I call it snagging your Michael Jordan. Like, I'm in Kansas City, but I would have found Patrick Mahomes, but I would talk to Patrick Mahomes in Texas Tech and ask him if he rocks some off the ground athletic gear. Who knows? Lots of Grand Athletics might take off when Patrick Mahomes went to the NFL. But it's one of those things we have to take a shot on. And this movie is about taking a bet on somebody. And Matt Damon's like, no, let's put all our chips on Michael Jordan. Let's go all in. I feel like this man can do it. And he had to convince the other members of Nike in the CEO field to like, hey, Michael Jordan could be that guy. He could be him. But we don't know, but we have to try. We miss out on this, then we're done. So might as well just put our chips on the table and go for Michael Jordan. And pretty much Matt Damon's character, Sonny, is doing his hardest to convince everybody around that, heck, Michael Jordan is that guy. We need to invest in him. And this movie comes down to the business meeting, and the meeting with talking to Michael. And from there, showcasing like, hey, Michael, we need you. We need you. You don't really need us, but we need you kind of thing. That's kind of the marketing pitch there, and saying like, hey, you take this off, everybody gonna remember who you are. If this doesn't happen, nobody gonna remember us. Everybody gonna forget about us. But you have a legacy to make it happen, and you can make this and build this huge legacy here. But this will be your shoe. This will be your brand, and this will be your, this will be you. Only you the one who can decide that. And it was just like that conversation and the talking points behind it that kind of like, man, this is some good acting. And that's one thing I said I would like about this movie, was the acting was really, really good. I mean, when we have a cast like this, they all went 110% in. Like Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Jason Bateman, they are all good actors in their own rights. Like I watch not all the movies, I've seen movies with them in it, and I never said like, Jason Bateman's phoning in, Matt Damon's phoning in, Viola Davis is phoning this movie in. I never feel that way. Anytime I hear these people, Ben Affleck gonna be on a movie, I'm like, it's already it's already gonna be at C level, and that's how I look at all movies. It's already gonna be at C level, but by adding this person in it, it could drop it into a B or maybe an A status, depending on where they go with this movie and everything else around it. The acting in this movie is phenomenal, and the scenes and the line, the dialogue and delivery is phenomenal as well. This movie is a drama. It is a sport movie, and there is some comedy in here. There's a part where one of the characters going off on Matt Damon's character Sonny, and he's saying all these stuff. Pretty much think of the movie Tropic Thunder when Tom Cruise's character is yelling at the terrorist group, and he's talking about how it rained down fire on you. Well, this dude does the same exact thing, and it's probably the most hilarious thing. I'm laughing like, this is crazy. This dude is like spitting out insults left and right, and you have Sonny just cracking up too, and I was like, this movie knows what it knows. It knows. Like, it knows. This movie knew this line right here, this is gonna be a funny line, because the dude just rained these insults and the guy reacting to it is not getting upset, but just like, that's an interesting insult. I never thought of that one. I was sitting there watching like, that's an interesting insult. I never thought of that one. That's okay, that's unique, different. All right, cool beans. That's creative. Somebody thought of that one for a long time. But there's comedy in this movie here and there, but most of the part of this movie is a serious movie. It's a drama. You're watching Matt Damon's character trying to convince everybody that Jordan is the one. I would say I do like the fact that it doesn't just show you Nike in Jordan's perspective. It shows you Jordan speaking to, other companies like Converse, and speaking to Adidas, and they're saying like, we offer you this, and Jordan's kind of like taking the pitch meeting in on whether or not he want to join these, companies and be their athlete for these companies. And then probably one of the best parts of the movie is the speech between Matt Damon and Michael Jordan, where they're sitting down and talking, and Matt Damon is shooting this incredible speech where you're like, all right, bet, I'm invested, I'm here for it. This is a good movie. It's a good movie. It's really good. Now, the dislikes in this movie, the movie is an hour and 51 minutes long. I feel like that's about right. It's average nowadays. Like, a movie's usually 2 hours long. I don't say I have really a dislike. It's more like the movie was good, but I just like it felt good. Like it was a good movie, and it is what it is. It's kind of one of those movies where like, oh, it's good. I don't feel like anything's really, nothing about the movie was like offensive. Nothing about this movie was like, okay, that's a really bad spot. That was really bad, like, writing. It dragged out. Like, I felt like it moved well. Like, you went from the meeting where everybody talking about like, hey, we should choose John Stockton or this person, and Sonny's like, why not Michael Jordan? What film have you guys watched? Because he's a talent scout, so he's been watching film. Like, what film have you guys watched? What about this person? And he looks at John Stockton, but he's like, nah, I like what Jordan did in the championship game. We should go with Jordan. Like, I like those things about it. I would say the movie, the tone or the color grading of this movie, when I first watched it, I noticed it like, I just watched Dead or Alive before this movie, and that movie was more bright color, like well lit. This movie has a more darker tone over it. It wasn't as bright like another. Like it was a drama, so therefore it's gonna be darker. But they're in the boardroom, and you can see like they're sitting there in a meeting, and it's just a darker gradient over the characters. And I was like, huh, That's something that I didn't think I would notice in a movie, but 100% I definitely noticed the grading of this movie where it's darker compared to other parts, other movies I've seen. Nothing wrong with that, just something that I noticed watching movies and review movies and study movies. You're like, I wonder if that's because they want to set a more serious tone. Like, this is not like your bright and busy, happy movie. It's more of like, hey, serious sit down drama, and we're trying to build that anticipation and that feeling that like, hey, this might not happen. You know, we all know the truth, but they try to build something up that said like, maybe this is the moment. And I think that's what the movie comes down to, is the moment. When do they sign Jordan? Do they lose Jordan? Do they get him right here, or do they get him right there? They get him in the middle of the movie, or they get him at the end of the movie? Like, this movie kind of holds you on to that hook, like, oh, this is the moment? Ah, that's not the moment. This is the moment? Ah, that's not the moment. This is the moment? Ah, that's not the moment. I did like that when it came to this movie, that like, you knew what it was building up to, but then when they did it, when they not do it. And I'm trying to think of movies where, especially because it's a sports movie, so every sports movie you need like the underdog moment where like they fall, did they make it, did they not make it? And movies try to do that towards the end, but it really, the speech that Matt Damon gave in this movie was so good that you knew like, that was it. That was the moment he got them. He locked Jordan in. So they tried to make a little more anticipation by doing Jordan's like, he demands this. He demands this part of the sale. He demands this part of the income and revenue and all this stuff. They tried to do all that stuff. But by that point, you knew that like, it didn't matter. They got Jordan. They got Jordan. All right, let's go ahead and get into cast details and all that good stuff. So Air came out in 2023. It's an hour and 51 minutes. It's rated R. The director of this movie is Ben Affleck. Oh, good for Ben. The writer is Alec Convery. The budget on this movie was $90 million estimated, and it grossed worldwide $89 million. So this movie did not make its money back as of right now. That's unfortunate because it is a really good movie, and it has a lot of good actors in it who are doing a fine job. The cast, you got Matt Damon who plays Sonny. Good work from Matt Damon. He did a good job in making Sonny that character who was like, we have to do this, we gotta go all in. I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm making everything happen. I'm gonna go behind the lines, and maybe I might lose my job for this. Like, Sonny played a character of desperation, and he did a good job doing that. Jason Bateman, who played Rob Stresser, who is the VP of marketing for Nike. Good for him. Like, Jason did a good job for Rob and making Rob kind of like just a character like, hey, you know what, Matt, Sonny, I'm gonna trust you. I'm gonna be here with you side by side. We'll work on this. Let's go for Jordan. Ben Affleck, who plays Phil Knight, who is the owner of Nike, the CEO of Nike, the creator of Nike. Good job, good work from him. Chris Messina, who played David Falk. So he was the agent for Michael Jordan, who was going all out, acting crazy, acting foolish, going on Chris, going on Sonny. He's the one making like creative cuss words. He was there for more comic relief kind of thing, or just being more of a roadblock for Sonny who just get around. You had Viola Davis, who played Dolores Jordan. Great work for her. She played a mother figure really, really well. Just like good delivery, somebody protective. But Viola Davis always played a character who was no nonsense, who didn't take it from anybody. Good job from her. Damien, who plays Michael Jordan. Damien Delano Young, who plays Michael Jordan. You don't really see Michael Jordan in the movie, but you hear him. Good work from him. Chris Tucker, who plays Howard White. Chris Tucker did a great job. Good job for Chris Tucker, just like kind of being more of a comedy character at the same time being a serious character. Like, he added little quips and little jokes in here, but mostly like he was another kind of like a robot, but I'll try to keep it real for Matt Damon, for Sonny, but he did a good job as well. And Marlon Wayans played George Ravelin. Good work for him, a good job. The whole cast is good. Really good work from everybody. Any other thoughts? The music was definitely 1980s, and it definitely hit the 80s and definitely, got that vibe. They definitely made sure they hit the era, and all the music of that time of that year was played in the movie. And there was times where like it hit what the scene was trying to convey, but at the same time, it was just like, okay, he's driving a car and this song is playing. The music was good. It's definitely licensed music, but it's also of that time that a person would hear in that year, that time. Other than that, the setting and the lighting, good. The movie did look like 1980s, early 90s, late 80s movie. Like the character, I guess the costume design, what everybody's wearing during that time, definitely fit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Is this a Friday night movie? I'll say yeah, it's a Friday night movie, like dramas and want to like get everybody invested. It's probably one of those kind of movies to watch, a serious movie to watch with everybody. And grading time, I'm gonna grade Air for 2023. I'm gonna give this movie a B, a solid 85%. This is what this movie gets for me. It's a B movie. I think the acting is great. I think the movie is solid. But is this a movie I'll watch multiple times? I don't think so. I don't think the movie has that replay value I'm gonna sit and watch over and over again. But it definitely was a good movie that, like, heck, the acting is great. It's like a movie that I know the outcome of, but it was cool seeing it portrayed and seeing it, done well. Like, it was cool seeing the story of Michael Jordan signing with Nike and this famous story of how Nike became this gigantic company based off one sign that everybody took a shot at and put the chips on the table, because Jordan could have flopped. He could have failed, but he didn't. And it was like one of the biggest risks that they didn't know other companies, according to this movie, didn't do before. They didn't let the player get X amount of dollars off of it. They didn't get the player pay for their fines because they wore a shoe that the NBA said they hate to wear majority white. And it was like, no, you're going to wear red and black. Like, yeah, so it was cool seeing the story being portrayed and seeing these guys who, a lot of companies nowadays are trying to relive this story, try to recapture that lighting in a bottle. And this movie was about the story of the first company to do it, like Nike. No pun intended. So I'm gonna give this movie a B and 85%. IMDb gives this movie a 7.5 out of 10. That's a C. And Rotten Tomatoes give this movie a 92% by the critics. That's an A-. And the audience gives this movie a 98%. That's an A+. So that's where the audience is at. I'm at 85% on B. Like, this movie's a good movie, like solid, good work by everybody. Yeah, I'll give it a B. If you've seen Air, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys in the next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. I really appreciate that. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. If there's a review you want me to watch or do, let me know. Please put it in the comment section below this video. Also, you want to watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns, it's right there. Just gotta click on it and you'll be able to watch it. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Love y'all, and keep being awesome.